Hello students, welcome back in this online course of engineering mechanics. So today we are going to learn the new topic which is equilibrium of bodies. So for analysis in the mechanics we have to know what is equilibrium and how we are going to solve the problem for equilibrium. So a body is said to be in equilibrium if its state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line is not altered. If a body is in motion, if it is continues to be in motion with a uniform velocity, or if a body is at rest, it is continuing to be in rest, then that body will be termed as the body is in equilibrium. So according to Newton's first law, it means no resultant force acts on the body. So we have learned in this the fundamental laws of motion, that what like first law was, if a body is in motion it will continue in motion, or if a body is at rest it will be at the rest unless and until some external force is applied on it. So in case of coplanar concurrent forces, it implies summation of x should be 0, summation fy should be 0. If x and y are the two perpendicular axes, it is not necessary that you are choosing x. Any two axes which are perpendicular to each other, the forces, sum of the forces along those two axes should be 0. But as a convention, we are taking here x and y. So this was for coplanar concurrent forces. Now let us see if the forces are not concurrent. If a body is said to be in equilibrium when it does not have any translatory or rotational movement. Okay. This means when the body is in equilibrium under the action of coplanar forces, the following conditions are satisfied. So what are the conditions which must be satisfied if a body is in equilibrium? First is the algebraic sum of the components of forces along any two mutually perpendicular directions is 0, which is same only. Second is the algebraic sum of the moments of the force about any point in the plane is 0. So this will deal with the translatory motion and this will deal with the rotational movement. So any type of movement is not possible if the body is in equilibrium. So all these summations, all the reactions along x, y and the moment about z axis should be 0. So x, y and z are mutually perpendicular axis. If you are not using x and y, so this third axis should be perpendicular to both of these axes. So this is very simple, nothing like very complex we have learned till now. So hence if a system is in equilibrium under the action of only three forces, they must be concurrent. This is very very important. In GATE sometimes they are asking this, they will give you this statement directly and they will ask whether it is true or false. So if a system is in equilibrium under the action of only three forces, they must be concurrent. If a body is there, three forces are acting, so they must be passing through a one single point. So this statement is very very important. So let us see what are the different type of forces possible. So while applying equilibrium equations to a body, it is necessary that all forces acting on a body should be considered. So what we are checking the equilibrium of the body. So we have to check all the forces for the analysis part. The various forces acting on a body may be grouped as first is applied forces, second is non-applied forces. So applied forces, externally applied forces, the forces which are externally applied, we are applying or it is coming from some external source. Non-applied forces are reactions and self weight. So these we are not applying, these are self-generating forces. As you know, like everybody subjected to gravitational attraction and hence has got self weight. If something is having mass, if a body is having mass, then automatically it will be having a self weight which will be equal to W is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, which is G. It is always act in vertically downward direction. Okay, so gravity is along the vertical direction. It is treated as a vertically downward force acting through the center of the body. So the gravitational force will always be act from at a point that is termed as center of the body or center of gravity. The name center of gravity is coming from the fact that the gravitational force is acting along this point. Okay, so this is self weight. If in the question it is not mentioned that the body is weightless or you can neglect the mass, you have to consider the self weight. Many students do this mistake like very frequently, that while drawing the free body diagram they will skip the weight portion. So that you just take care, don't forget to consider the self weight unless and until it is specifically mentioned in the question. So second is reactions. So what are the reactions? Reactions are self adjusting forces developed by other bodies which are in contact with the body under consideration. So if two bodies are like this is two body, so it here, if what is happening, body 1 is here, body 2 is here. So if I'm applying like let us see, I'm applying the force from right hand side. So if this has to maintain in equilibrium, so if I'm applying the force in this hand, so this hand is automatically generating the reaction to overcome this force. So reaction, this is reaction, so it is self adjusting. We are not doing any external work, it is automatically generated. So according to Newton's third law of motion, reactions are equal and opposite to the action. Okay, so the reaction adjust themselves to keep the body in equilibrium. This is also very important. So let me show you different type of supports possible during or in the civil engineering structure. More frequently there are more types, but these three are very common. So first one is roller support. So in roller support, this is surface, this is the roller support, roller, and when the body is fixed over here. So the roller will produce only single reaction which will be perpendicular to the surface. So the surface is parallel, so that's why roller reaction is generated perpendicular to the surface. If the surface is like this, so the reaction is generating perpendicular to the surface. So roller will generate only one reaction and it will be always perpendicular to the surface. Second type of support is hinge or pinned support. So what we have done, in this roller we have pinned it. So this roller is, in this roller it is, if you are pushing from this side, this point will move along this roller, but if you are holding this horizontal movement with the help of pin, this will become a hinge support or pin support. So in pin support, this reaction will come along with this one horizontal component is also coming, which is holding this, which because of this force only, this is this in this hinge support, it is not possible to push this body laterally. Okay, so this is hinge support. In fixed support, there are roller is like roller can move and it can rotate. Okay, hinge, it can not move but it can rotate. This rotation is possible over here. If we are holding this rotation, we are fixing it, we are not allowing any type of rotation. So what we are going to do, we are applying a moment. If the rotation was possible like this, so we have put a moment in opposite direction. So this moment is preventing this member to rotate along with the reactions. So here no deflection is also 0, as well as slope is also 0. So this was your fixed support. Okay, so just I want to show so now let us see types of beam. So we have seen types of supports. Now let me show you what are the different types of beams. Okay, so beam first can be cantilever beam. So if a fixed beam, it is a fixed beam at one end, and at second end it is free. So beam is AB, so one support is fixed, one support is free. So this is termed as cantilever beam. Simply supported beam. Simply supported, as the name is suggesting, the beam is simply supported. One side is roller, one side is hinge. Okay, or both, here roller, or we can just say roller can be shown as this also. So this symbol is also for roller, and this symbol is also for roller. So here the reactions were RA, vertical, horizontal, and the moment. Here only roller is there, so one vertical reaction. Here hinge is there, so this will be vertical and this will be horizontal reaction. Overhanging beam. What is the name? Overhang. So beam is hanging. So this is the main span and this is the overhang span. So beam is overhang at this support. So this is single overhang, means only one side is having overhang. If it is having both side overhang, so this will be termed as double overhang. This is simple. I don't think we are having some problem in this. Fourth one is propped cantilever. Cantilever, if it is one is fixed and one is free, it will be cantilever. But if we are providing a hinge or a roller at the free end, then we have propped. Propped means we are preventing something. So here we are preventing the vertical deflection. That's why this term propped came. So this cantilever is propped against deflection. So this is termed as propped cantilever. Now this is continuous beam. So this is a example of continuous beam. It means like there are more than, not like here only one span is there, so more than one spans are possible. So this type of beam is termed as continuous beam. So this is all about the beams, type of beams. Now let me tell you different types of loading. So what type of loadings are possible? If only one force is acting, this is the beam, only one force P is acting, so this is concentrated load. Only one load is there and it is concentrated at a single point. That's why the term concentrated load is coming. Second can be uniformly distributed load. So this W is uniformly, the intensity of load from A to C is W, and this distribution is uniform. That's why uniformly distributed load, UDL. In the coming lectures, I will not be writing uniformly distributed lecture. I will simply write UDL. So you have to understand that UDL means this. If this is here, the variation is uniform. If the variation is like it is varying uniformly, what does this mean? Like for this slope is constant. So here it is intensity is 0. Here intensity is W. Here what was there? Here also W, here also W. Everywhere it was W, but here it is 0 till W it is increasing. This type of loading is termed as uniformly varied load, or UVL. Or just like concentrated load, we can also provide concentrated moment. This is also a type of loading. So these are some different types of beams and loading we have discussed. So till now we have discussed. So in the next lecture we will be solving the problems. Before that, I want to show a very important concept to you, that is free body diagram. So for the analysis of equilibrium condition, it is necessary to isolate the body under consideration from the other bodies in contact and draw all forces acting on the body. Okay, so we have to draw all the forces which are acting on the body which is under consideration for the analysis of equilibrium. For this, first the body is drawn and then all the applied forces, self weight and reactions from the other bodies in contact are drawn. Okay, such diagrams of the body in which the body under consideration is freed from all contact surfaces and is shown with all the forces on it, including self weight and reactions from the other contact surfaces, is called the free body diagram. So what we are doing in free body diagram, we are separating our body under consideration from the other contact surfaces. So just you can more understand with the help of examples. So this is a body, this is the body placed on a surface. So we want to draw the free body diagram for this ball. So this ball is here, this force, this surface will be pushing it, so this reaction and self weight W. Clear? Now what we have done here, there was one contact surface, so we have removed this surface and we have drawn all the forces on the body. Now this ball is being held against this wall with the help of a string. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to separate it from all the contact surfaces. So this is the body, this is weight W. We have removed the surface, so reaction will come R, and we have removed this thread also, so in this thread some tension will be there. So this is the body for, this is the free body diagram for this ball. Now let me show, one ladder is here and it is placed against two surfaces, this is wall and this is floor. So this is smooth, so no friction will be there. So P is acting here, W will be acting, W is self weight. One reaction will come from here, one reaction will come from here. If in the question it was not given like smooth, then friction will also come into picture. Now let me show, this is a pulley, there are two weights, one is placed on the surface, other is hanging. So we want to draw free body diagram for this 600 Newton body. So 600 Newton body, we have separated one tension in the thread, one reaction, and the weight itself is given as 600 Newton. So this you have done in your physics classes, I hope so. So this is all for free body diagram and equilibrium. So in the next class we will be doing some examples, numerical problems. So this is all for today. Thank you.